Welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. We're working on the Paisley Splash with the elephant that's been going across on Pinterest and Facebook. It's a cute little thing just like this, and if you go search for it, I'm sure by golly you can find it. And I just printed page 4 and 5, which is really the templates that I was looking for. And I didn't blow it up. It tells you to blow it up 200%. It says right here, first right there, you can blow that up to 200%. But I wanted to just kind of do like more of a mini project of that. And so I did a small one and then developed my own little paisleys and some circles and stuff like that. I took some from here, but since I wasn't using these big, huge ones to use as my water splash, because to me that seemed a little odd for my project. So I just opted to leave those ones out and use some of the smaller ones and then just retrace them. I'd trace those ones a couple times, trace a circle a couple times, maybe a little here, and then sometimes even made a little bit shorter or smaller. I also found some really cool Paisley type fabric that I fussy cut on, as you can tell. It had a little swirl on the end right here, but I didn't use that for my cutout. I opted just to cut it just on a little angle towards it, and you can't even tell. I think it's really cute, and I just cut whatever I like, and it gave me a few little bits of pop of color. My Gildy and friend Janice brought by a bunch of scrap fabric that, well, stuff that she was trying to clean out from her storage, which ends up in my storage that I'm very happy for. She brought this beautiful pink that I thought would make an awesome background for this weekend project, and this lovely blue and this yellow that was also enclosed. She gave me quite a few fabrics. This was just happened to be a couple that I was using, so thank you very much for that, Janice. Really much appreciated. And then I just picked up this really kind of, I don't know, leafy, floral, I don't know, kind of print for the elephant. You could choose a solid, you could do it scrappy, you could do whatever you like. The design choices are completely up to you. It just got a nice little free template, so why not use it, right? And like I said, I just chose to do a smaller version. You can choose to blow it up whatever size you like. The size or what was going across on Facebook and Pinterest and stuff like that seemed to be like a big wall hanging or like a almost quilt size. So, and instead of using our normal zigzag applique, we're gonna put it down via free motion and just stitch all the way around. You know, we're not going to zigzag or anything. We're just going to tack it down because these are already interfaced with a heat and bond, and that's going to keep it's just a wall hanging. It's not going to be for anything else for that, so it's just going to hang up in the quilt shop. And to help you with free motion is these little handy dandy things called machiners. And I have kind of large hands for a girl, and I think these are the small to medium size right there. So if you have bigger hands, then you know they're going to have a size enough to fit you. So just keep looking for that. They're great for helping non-transfer dyes from section to section on your quilt. If you happen to be working with the black and white, you can tell that here even just a little bit is a little bit of dye transfer, a little bit of whatever, and it helps keep your project nice and clean. So, and also grippy too. There's also a little slippy mat you can slip underneath, but I tidied up. I don't know where it went. That's what happens when you tidy up. So I found these. All right, so we're gonna work on the elephant right now and then work on a few splashes and see where it takes us. So I thought it was really kind of cute, and I really wanted to try it. I happen to love elephants, and I think they're really quite majestic, and I like how they're very family, group orientated. They're always watching out for each other, and they're, the mamas and the babies and everything else are all hanging out together as a big pack, right? So just come in a little bit. You don't want to come too close because then it'll make that fray. You don't want to do too close to that edge, or you're going to end up ruining your project. So I guess when I'm coming around the tail here, I'm going to have to be really careful. Maybe I'll just come straight down in a line and come back up. Okay, I'm trying to hold it down with my index finger at the very tip of the tail. And of course with free motion, you can go as fast or as slow as you like. You're the one who's in control of the pedal. So don't panic. If you don't like what you're doing, just slow her down. That was pretty good. Okay. And just try and keep a consistent, or if you're stitching on the outside edge and you're doing an 1/8 or a 1/4 or whatever, just try and keep that consistent all the way around. Don't go, 1/8 and a half and, in between, or it's just going to look a little wonky. Okay. You can always reposition. Don't sew over your pins. And it gives you good practice with movement because you're taking your two hands and you're spreading them right out, and yet you're moving fabric in under a tiny little needle, right? So, and you can work on tiny little projects like this. You know, if you want to say, oh, I don't know if I really like that pattern, I think I'll do a small version. And that's kind of like really why I did this one. I'm like, you know, I kind of like it, but I don't know if I want to do a really, really big one. So this needle's getting in the way, or pin is getting in the way here. There we go. Saw that one. Who's going to come back and get me, I know. Putting badges on fireman shirts the other day. Poked myself once or twice, but it really didn't seem like I poked myself that bad, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I'm bleeding on the shirt. Cold water, cold water. Okay. And you can lift your foot up and shift around. I like the whole free motion part of it because you can move it, maneuver it as you're going too. But sometimes you need to move some of that bulk, the bulk as a whole. Okay. Put that all the way in. I like doing little projects like this. They're kind of fun, and it gets a little sample of, you know, what we can do and play around with here in the quilt shop. We're very excited to be doing a live stream tomorrow. Check us out. Sunday, about 3 p.m. Eastern. Yes, Eastern. Okay. I was like, where are we? Sometimes one forgets. No, I'm kidding. Okay, now we're going to want to move this one out of the way because I got to come around a corner and stitch those other little legs on. I want to move that one too, just to be safe. Okay, since I moved that pin out, that's kind of popped up there, so I really want to make sure I'm sticking that down with my index finger, making sure it's going to lay flat and not get like a little pucker or a little fold in it. Like I said, you can go as fast or as slow as you like that makes you feel comfortable. And maybe one or two of you people will try do a little bit of free motion fun so it won't be you know, find it too intimidating. You know, you don't have to always do big swirls and shapes and hearts and whatever, or do some big whole cloth on a quilt. You can just do a little fun project by tacking some things down, get the feel of how to do the free motion, a little bit more freedom with this foot than you can with any of the other feet. So, because all those feed dogs are down, they're not gripping your fabric from underneath. That's why I can have such a smooth time with this batting. If it was the feed dogs are up, this would be gripping and ripping all over the place. It'd be tearing it apart. Okay, so let's take that off. Let's remove our last little pins here, and then I'll show it up for you to see how it's just been stitched all around. And if you want, you can totally do this applique stitch, the zigzag stitch. This could be your tacking stitch, and then you can come around with, you know, a little floss and needle, and away you go. So, and then I'll show you on the back how it's getting stitched. You can see it's getting all stitched down. It's kind of cool. All right, so we'll do a couple of the Paisleys. Oops, so you can poke a little time. Try and come down by the elephant. Okay, we'll do this yellow one here. And then, as you know, with free motion, you got to make sure your thread comes down. I'm going to start at the points because that makes more sense to me to come down at a point, come around the curve, and come back to the point, then start on a curve. Okay, needle down, needle up, and you're bringing those bobbin threads right up to the top. You're going to hold on to them with your other finger. Make sure your pressure foot is down. Hold on to the threads with one finger, or tack them with one finger. Hold on to your project with the other, with the needle in it, and away we go. Like I said, as fast or as slow as you like. Oop, I got a little hooked on a needle there. Or a pin, sorry. There we go. So if you plan on doing a lot of free motion, I suggest getting these and the little silly mat, pat mat for underneath. I think that's what it's called. It's very similar anyways. And it wasn't too much at all. I think for the whole set of trying to get to for the free motion when I first started off doing free motion on my machine a few years ago. And I still have them. I still have both pieces. So it was a long-term investment to me. I was probably 3 years now. And maybe it was under $45 for all of it, maybe $50 for all of it. So I didn't think that was too bad. So since I'm going to be jumping from paisley to paisley and circle to circle, I could do like a little loop with my free motion thread to link me to each spot to spot, or I can cut each thread and sew it down. So that's completely, is whatever you want to do. I think I am going to do maybe just a little loop because I don't want to keep doing all these cut threads and stuff. So I'm just going to try and maybe loop up to this one. No, some way I'm still going to end up cutting, or I'm going to have so many loops running around. So we'll just cut. Decision made. Executive decision made. Okay, so we'll take this one out. We'll do this one. I know it's a bit of a pain, but you get the idea, you know, and like I said, that was your choice. If you didn't want to do the up and down, hold the threads, just do the little paisley, then you can totally loop in between. Just do a little spiral or just straight stitch to the next project. So, okay, and off we go again. There. So that's pretty much what we're going to be working on. It's kind of cool, eh? It's coming along. And of course you can adjust, have bigger splashes, have background. I've seen some with little babies doing a splash. There was a baby holding an umbrella and the other one was doing the splash. I thought that was really cute too. So, you know, that's what we're going to put on. I'll do one more and then we'll probably call that a show. I can finish some more up and get a picture for you. Like I said, just be a little wall hanging here. I thought about maybe just keeping it at the batting at the back until I thought maybe a quilt as you go sort of thing with a couple of little different, you know, Pinterest ideas or something that I wanted to try as a little sample section instead of having, you know, 5 big quilts around or 6 big quilts around. I've got 6 little, you know, chunks and they're hanging out. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, we'll take this pin and put it on the other side. Okay, and away we go. And this one actually has a line already on it because it's one of the ones that I've cut from this fabric. It's actually these little lines right around here. And if you wanted, you can use that as a guide to keep you in your little stitch section. You can just kind of stitch right on the edge of that color where it's meeting the other color. Right here it would be the purple and the red. And that gives you a nice little stitch length all the way around. Okay. And of course the circles are just the same principle. Just come in and go all the way around. And if you don't, if you're not sure how to use the free motion, is you drop your feed dogs. Sometimes people can't drop them on their machine, so set it to 0, and the 0 means your feed dogs aren't going to move at that point because it's just think you're just stitching in one straight line or going up and down like crazy, and then you can move it from there. A lot of them say, you know, obviously drop the feed dogs, keep it on the lowest stitch possible, and then you should be fine. But read your book for your machine. If you don't have a book, I'm sure you can find a manual for it online and be able to look for it in there, or you can always ask in quilting or sewing groups. You know, the information is there, you just got to find it, right? Okay, we'll do this one and then we're done. I thought maybe these 2 pinks were a little bit too close, but I kind of like it that they are just a little close. They're close and very much in tone. So it's not too bad. You know, like I said, you could either loop it or do each individual one. You're the one who has to clip all the threads, so it's your choice, right? Stitching in between those two colors. You don't always have to raise your foot to turn it. Sometimes it's just a habit for me. Perfect. Super cute. It's really coming along. Let me just trim up a couple threads here, and you can see what we've done so far. It's not taking very long. You know, the most tedious part is the up and down of the threads. Okay, there we go. Kind of cute. I hope you guys take the chance to do this cute little project. Like I said, it's free. I love free projects. There's nothing better than a free project because I'm cheap. Frugal, whatever you want to call it. Frugal is a little more fancier than cheap. So I really, you know, like I said, just look up the Paisley Splash, elephant template, and then of course the water templates. These are actually the actual size of the template, so that's why I didn't, or you could shrink it. Totally shrink it. If you really like this sort of swirl thing on it, shrink it, blow this one up. Make some sort of happiness in between. So thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it here at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we'll see you tomorrow for live stream, and Wednesday if we're along on Wednesday. Okay, so don't forget to tune in. Okay, so to ask any questions, I'm here. Okay, thanks everybody. See you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.